I want to thank Mayor Watson and our emergency management teams for working diligently in preparing and coordinating county and city response efforts this entire holiday weekend. I cannot overstate how crucial our frontline first responders and essential workers have been in keeping our community prepared and safe during our first winter freeze of the year here in Austin and Travis County. And really, this was a great collaboration of effort, and we have come a long way in our partnerships and learnings since first encountering Storm Uri. Especially as we're seeing more extreme weather events from climate change, and as one of the fastest growing metros in the country, this collaboration will be key to continue to prepare Travis County and the city of Austin. So thank you everybody, all public employees and all volunteers for your stellar service on this MLK holiday weekend. Last night and this morning, we had record-breaking low temperatures in Travis County, and we're going to have some more before this is over. The National Weather Service has issued a hard freeze warning that will remain in effect until 10 a.m. Wednesday, January 17th, and we still have a wind chill advisory going into tomorrow. So please take the same precautions that we've been asking you to take over the past several days. Protect your people, pets, plants, and pipes. As the temperatures begin to warm, we will begin demobilizing the Emergency Operations Center, and personnel will be there from 7 a.m. to midnight for the following days. But I want to emphasize it's just not over yet. Travis County's Transportation and Natural Resources staff will continue to monitor road conditions, but pre-treatment has ended as weather conditions improve, and there's been no significant reported icing today. If you need a warm place to stay today and tonight, our Health and Human Services Department has been coordinating with the City of Austin for shelters and warming centers across the city and across Travis County. And our warming centers at the county are open today and this week during normal business hours from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at our service centers. Anyone needing a cold weather shelter tonight can go to the city's One Texas Center in downtown Austin. Finally, Travis County parks are open today, so that includes Hamilton Pool. If you'd like to go for a quick swim today before it warms up, we'll reach a high of 34 degrees as of 3 p.m., so maybe that's a good time to head to Hamilton Pool. Buenos días, soy el juez del condado Andy Brown. Gracias al alcalde Watson y a nuestro equipo de emergencias por trabajar diligentemente en la preparación y coordinación de los esfuerzos de respuesta del condado y la ciudad durante este fin de semana. Especialmente porque vamos a ver más eventos climáticos extremos debido al cambio climático. Esta colaboración entre el condado y la ciudad será clave para seguir preparando al condado y la ciudad de Texas. Así que gracias por su excelente servicio en este fin de semana festivo de Martin Luther King Jr. Aunque aún tenemos un aviso de viento helado que se extiende hasta mañana, miércoles, a las 10 de la mañana. Cuando las condiciones mejoran, comenzaremos a desmovilizar el centro de operaciones de emergencia y el personal estará disponible de 7 de la mañana a medianoche en los próximos días. Si están en un lugar cálido para quedarse hoy y esta noche, nuestro Departamento de Salud y Servicios Humanos han estado coordinando con la ciudad de Austin y el personal del Centro de Refugios y Centros de Calentamiento en toda la ciudad y el condado de Travis, que están abiertos hoy y esta semana de 8 a 5. También cualquier persona que necesita refugio contra el frío esta noche puede ir a One Texas Center aquí en el centro de Austin para entre las 5 y las 8 de la tarde. Por último, los parques del condado de Travis están abiertos hoy, incluso Hamilton Pool, si desea darse un chapuzón rápido, ya que alcanzaremos una temperatura máxima de 34 grados hoy a las 3 de la tarde. Gracias, and I'll pass it over to Mayor Watson. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And I want to also say thank you to Judge Brown and all of Eric Carter, who heads up Travis County Emergency Management, and all of the Travis County personnel that have been so good as we've gone through this process. I also want to say thank you again to the media that's here, helping us get out the message and have been helping us throughout this winter storm or winter frigid weather so that we can get the message to everybody. We had another cold morning in Austin today with the low hitting 16 degrees, which matched yesterday's historic low. But with the little wind, just that little wind that's out there, our feel-like temperatures dropped to near zero and actually below zero in some spots in this area. The air was so frigid that the National Weather Service issued a wind chill warning that expired just a couple of hours ago, and that's only the third time in history that a wind chill warning has been issued in Austin. But the good news is that the roads are dry and precipitation dried up yesterday, and we're expecting the sun to slowly warm us up. So it looks like the worst is behind us. Last night, the city of Austin stood up a 7th shelter for those who needed a warm place to spend the night. And as of last count, or the last count that I had, at least 659 people spent the night in one of those shelters. Shelters will remain open today and again tonight, as we're not expected to get above freezing in the next 24 hours. So let me be clear. Shelters will stay open, and as Judge Brown indicated, people that want to go to the shelters, if they go to One Texas Center from 5 until 8 o'clock, they can register and we will get them to those shelters. We also have all libraries and recreation centers, except for the facilities that are being used as overnight shelters. Those are available to serve as warming centers during normal business hours. For a map of the warming centers, please visit austintexas.gov/alerts. austintexas.gov/alerts will allow you to see where we have warming centers. As I indicated, shelter services are available tonight for anyone needing a warm place to spend the night. I want to be clear about registration. You can register at One Texas Center, located at 505 Barton Springs Road. As I also indicated, we will provide transportation to a shelter for anyone who needs it after registration close. Anyone needing transportation to a shelter after 8 o'clock can call 311, or you can call 512-974-2000. Call 311 or 512-974-2000 in order to request assistance and being able to get to a warming shelter. We'll have some additional operational updates in just a minute, but overall, the city of Austin is back to regular operations. And while overall this is a good news, I do want to emphasize that it is still very cold, bitterly cold. We're asking you to limit your time outside. Again, if you don't have any reason to be outside, there's no need to go out, then try to stay inside. If you do go outside, please be sure to dress warm. Please dress in layers. And remember, as Judge Brown has pointed out, to protect the 4 Ps: people, pets, pipes, and plants. Before I hand this over to the interim city manager, I want to thank the many, many, many people who have helped keep us all safe during this time, not only at the city of Austin, but as I've indicated, Travis County employees. But I also want to say thank you to the community partners and the nonprofit organizations who've helped us protect our most vulnerable populations and to ensure that they're taken care of during this time. And I also want to say a special thank you to all of the residents who have been prepared and listened to what we were asking them to do and have played a role in that. Those that have protected the 4 Ps and have paid attention to that. Those who have taken the time to check on their neighbors that needed to be checked on because they were elderly or vulnerable in some way. and those who have paid attention to stay inside and to conserve energy when we've asked for that as well. We're very appreciative. I think this community has really come together during this incident. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to the interim city manager, Jesus Garza, and I want to say publicly thank you to him for the operation that he has run at the City of Austin. Jesus?
Thank you. Let me first of all thank Judge Brown and the mayor. And I realize the last few days have been challenging for all of us throughout this community. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for rising to the challenge and helping us conserve energy and checking on your neighbors. I also want to thank the City of Austin staff and partners, many of whom have been working really over around the clock over the last few days to make sure that our power and water stayed on, that our community stays safe, our roads are safe to travel on, to make sure that every person in our city was safe and has a warm place to spend the night. It's also an incredible logistical undertaking that has happened over the last few days, but it's our job and our responsibility to do that. And it's also, didn't want to miss this opportunity to tell everyone who has helped us in this effort how much we appreciate your dedication and we valued your participation in this endeavor. We still have a cold night ahead of us, and this likely won't be the last time we experience this kind of extreme weather as these become more frequent over time. But it is important for us to be prepared as a city, as a county, and as a community, and I think we've lived up to that challenge of this event. We're going to be talking about readiness and about preparedness, and so that all of you participate in helping get this community ready, and in addition to the county and the city. And we want to also tell you that we're here to support the city both during winter storms and blue sky days. And let me now turn it over to Ken Snipes, our Director of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. Ken?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Thank you, Judge Brown, Mayor Watson, Interim City Manager Garza, and also Eric Carter, OEM Manager for Travis County. Our priorities continue to be the safety of everyone in our community, especially our most vulnerable populations. Leading up to this storm, we worked to prepare our community to take action and to be prepared. While I'm proud of the work that we have done with this storm, our work is not yet complete. The climate is behaving differently, as we've talked about before, and we must adjust and change the way that we prepare. Homeland Security and Emergency Management monitors the weather along with all of our city departments, and we've had multiple calls with the National Weather Service to utilize their expertise and their help as we access their weather projections and models. The National Weather Service is reporting a brief warm-up on Wednesday and Thursday afternoon before another Arctic front pushes into our area. The temperatures with that event will drop into the mid-20s by Saturday. We encourage all Austinites to continue to monitor our weather by tuning into your preferred TV or radio stations and by following Homeland Security and Emergency Management on social media for any real-time changes. Over the last week, I am pleased to see the responsiveness and the depth of collaboration across all of our city partners as we work to meet our community needs. It takes the strength of the city, the county, and our nonprofits to work together during an emergency. From our first responders to our shelter transport, we have all worked to make sure that we provide our basics of food and water. With the freezing participation behind us, the Emergency Operations Center is shifting its focus to shelter support as all wind chill extremes dip into the negative temperatures. Anyone needing a warm place to spend the night should go to One Texas Center at 505 Barton Springs Road between the hours of 6 and 8 p.m. to register and to be transported to a shelter. Anyone needing transportation to a shelter after 8 p.m. can call 311 to request assistance. As Mayor Watson mentioned, we expanded to 24-hour sheltering at 7 locations across the city. In total, over 600 people utilized our cold weather shelters last night. When temperatures begin to warm up, please check your pipes for areas that may be frozen and thaw them properly. If you have little or no water coming from your home's faucet, a frozen pipe or water meter may be the problem. For complete instructions on how to locate and thaw frozen pipes, please visit austinwater.org. Again, that's austinwater.org. For issues with suspected damage to a meter, call Austin's Water Dispatch at 512-972-1000. Again, that's 512-972-1000. Otherwise, please stay indoors. Temperatures and wind chills are low enough to make hypothermia and frostbite a real threat. And next, I will turn it over to Travis County OEM Manager Eric Carter.
Thank you, Ken. Just to say, again, there's been a strong response from the city. As a county agency, as an Office of Emergency Management, we've been happy to provide a lot of support, both not to Austin, but the communities across Travis County, from Lago Vista over to Manor. And all those communities have been responding strongly. The good news, right, there hasn't been a significant amount of infrastructure damage as we get into these deep freezes. That story is yet to be told as we come out of this in the next 24 hours, but we're happy with what we're seeing to this point. And again, on the shelter front, hats off to the city team and the yeoman's work that's been done, not just with the city staff, but with the nonprofits out there to keep people safe, keep them warm. And then we are also thanking our residents, right, about taking those words we've been speaking to heart and taking care of their neighbors, staying safe and staying warm. So with that, I'll go ahead and pass it back over to the county judge to give us a few words out. Thank you.
I guess that's it. Thank you again to the press for being here today on another cold day. Really appreciate y'all helping get the message out. Open up to do you have anything else, or open up to questions?
Over here, Ken. Yeah, the city has the 7 warming shelters across the city. They have the ability to open an 8th or 9th shelter, and when you go through that process, can you explain when you make that decision to open that shelter, additional shelter?
So to the question of whether or not we have the ability to expand, we do. We have the ability to add more shelters. We have those as part of our planning process, those instructions as part of our planning process already. So what we typically do is we're monitoring daily the number of people who are entering shelters. At the end of the day, during the embarkation point, what we tend to do there is we take a real-time accounting for how many people are signing up. We're in constant contact, and once we have those numbers, we determine if we need another shelter or not.
One thing I might just add is kind of an aside, but one of the things that we've done during the past year with regard to addressing our population living homeless is we have had a concentrated effort on increasing the number of emergency shelter beds in any event, right? And so, for example, opening the marshaling yard, reopening what we now refer to as the 8th Street shelter for its use, and that puts us. I mean, don't want to say it puts us ahead, but it allows for more space to already be being utilized, so that when an event occurs like this, and then as Director Snipes is pointing out, part of our preparation for an event like this is how you layer in additional shelter space. So hopefully we're going to be through with this tonight, and then we may be facing it again in a few days, as he's pointed out, but I think we're well prepared.
I have 2 quick questions. The first one is, over 600 people have stayed at these overnight shelters. Is that a record-breaking thing for the city of Austin to see that many people?
It is.
It is for cold weather shelters, but as the mayor pointed to, we have the ability through part of our all hazards management to continue to flex and grow if we needed to.
And has Austin Travis County seen any deaths related to cold weather?
Not specifically to cold weather per se. I think there was an incident yesterday involving a fire, but I don't think there was anything specific to the cold weather itself.
You guys talk a lot about checking on your neighbors and a call to action for the community. Are you aware of any 311 or 911 calls for a welfare check on a neighbor or helping a neighbor that happened in the last couple of days?
No, not one that resulted in, if I understand your question, not one where there was a check and they needed emergency help. I'm not aware of any. And
Austin Travis EMS,
We haven't had that.
yeah, they maintain a unit to support those, and we got no request over the last 2 days, which is good.
Clarity on those numbers, is it almost 700 or about 600?
The last numbers I had before I came over here was 649.
Okay, and is that just last night or?
Yes, yeah, it was 649, so that was up from the night before. So the process is working, is the way I would see that. I would see that as evidence that the process is working. As has been pointed out, what we did is we increased the number of shelters, and that increased the number of beds, and I think the message has been we've been getting it out and efficiently moving people into those shelters. So 649 in 7 shelters that have been set up.
And there, let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so you all know, the Homeland Security, the Homeland Office started texting folks and reaching out, using our partners to go to each of the encampments to let them know what was happening. And I think also what you guys have done in publicizing the numbers and what number to go, where to go to register, really encourage people to come to One Texas Center. That was a bit of a problem a year ago. That didn't work as smoothly. It worked much more smoothly this time. And like in any event, we'll do a debrief, what worked, what didn't work, and what we need to improve on. But I think the result of just your communication you've done as a media, what the Homeless Service Office did before the event and during the event has really helped. And of course, the people responded favorably, and that's why we had the numbers we had.
And I'll mention one last thing along those lines. The judge and I went and visited shelters yesterday, and in the process of doing that, we talked not only to the people that were there helping, but we also talked to the people that were utilizing the shelter and staying warm. And specifically, granted, this is not a sample size, but I spoke, and I think the judge did as well, to a number of people and asked them about the process and asked them how the process worked for them. And it was very positive feedback, particularly when you would visit about transportation, things of that nature. So we'll continue that process because we'll always be looking for how we do this better. But to have a record number of people in the shelters, to set up 7 as rapidly as we were able to do, and to have the kind of response that we've had has been it's been good, and we'll follow up.
What's the biggest concern you heard from people who were utilizing the shelter? Was it transportation to get there?
Yeah, it's transportation, but I will tell you that they were very positive about that, because Capital Metro has been really good about, and of course y'all have been really good about taking the information we've put out with regard to what bus lines would get you to One Texas Center, and then of course transportation. The description of it from people that were actually utilizing the services was a very positive description about how seamless the transportation worked to get them to the shelters. But of course, transportation, as you might guess, is one of the issues that has to be addressed. Because it's always going to be a problem under these circumstances. I want to emphasize, though, that what the city manager just said, and that is the effort that has gone into getting out to campsites to give people information, the texting in advance so that people would have the information, I think probably also helped with that. I know that helped with it.
With the return to regular operations, just now that we're anticipating the thaw to come, does the city and county, do you have the ability to roll out more resources if needed, should there be significant damage, like the frozen pipes we were talking about?
Go ahead.
Sure. As to the question of do we have the ability to roll out more resources, we do. We have the ability to scale and flex as needed. Over the next few days, we've already started to pull back a little bit based on the fact that the precipitation threat is no longer a realized threat, right? So we're kind of scaling back now, but at any moment we could scale up again if we needed to.
Yeah, and I think you can't ignore the fact that we had power this whole time, which is a big difference from what we've seen in the past. And You know, I think we need to keep in mind that in the future that might not be the case. And I went yesterday to the Central Texas Food Bank, which depends on volunteers. And I think in this disaster, there are a good number of volunteers there, but in the future, would love to see more people at the Central Texas Food Bank volunteering for things like this, volunteering with the Austin Area Urban League that was helping run the city shelters this time. So, you know, the city staff and the county staff did great work. Volunteers did great work. And I think the thing that's going to save us in the future for when we have stronger, worse disasters, frankly, is a robust number of people volunteering. So hopefully we can all continue to do that. Any other questions?
Thank you all.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate
Mayor,
you all.
anything else? All right.
No, thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for sticking with us on KXAN Live. Will Dupree back in the KXAN Live studio as Judge Brown, Mayor Watson, and other officials are leaving the lectern there after providing an update about the ongoing response to this extreme cold snap that we're dealing with right now. What they said they're focusing on right now is keeping cold weather shelters open and operating. There have been now a total of 7 shelters stood up at this time, with a record number of 649 people staying overnight in those shelters. The city is saying that they will keep those open for as long as needed to help people, especially who need a warm, safe place to go during these incredibly harsh conditions. And if anybody out there is in need of trying to access one of these cold weather shelters, if you know somebody who needs to access one of those, here's some information. Registration is open at One Texas Center, that is at 505 Barton Springs Road. To get transportation to one of these warming shelters, you can call 311 or the number here you see on your screen, 512-974-2000. That's 2000. More information about this will be available on our website shortly, so I'll send you back there too. We appreciate you joining us, and I hope that you all stay warm. Please pay attention to our First Warning Weather team because they are tracking these conditions and sharing out the latest information on our website, as well as the KXAN News and weather apps. Please download both of those. They are free for you to use, and they are incredible resources on days like this when the conditions are very harsh and very cold. Once again, I'm Will Dupree in the KXAN Live studio. We appreciate you being with us here this morning, and we will see you back here at another time. Hope you all stay safe, healthy, and warm. Take care.